Thank you for joining us on this channel. Like, subscribe, and please share. State House allocates 15 billion naira for SUVs, tires, and office complex in 2025 budget. I think there is time for scrutiny of the budget now. According to Punch, the State House has set aside 15.09 billion naira in its 2025 budget for the acquisition of tires for various vehicles, including bulletproof cars, SUVs, operational vehicles, and plain cars. The allocation also includes funds for construction of a new office complex for special advisors and senior special assistants. Additionally, 5.49 billion naira has been earmarked for the annual maintenance of the presidential villa. These details were outlined in the 2025 appropriation bill released by the Budget Office of the Federation on Thursday. The budget, titled Budget of Restoration, Securing Peace, Rebuilding Prosperity, was presented by President Bola Tinubu to a joint session of the National Assembly on Wednesday. The proposed spending plan was 49.7 trillion naira, emphasizing defense, infrastructure, and human capital development, with a projected deficit of 13.39 trillion naira to be covered through borrowing. During his presentation, Tinubu reaffirmed the administration's commitment to enhancing security and rebuilding the nation's infrastructure, highlighting these areas as critical for sustainable development. According to the budget document obtained by Punch, the State House has allocated 164 million naira specifically for the procurement of tires for bulletproof vehicles, SUVs, Jeep, platform trucks, and other utility vehicles. Well, the budget scrutiny has started. The details of the whole 49.7 trillion naira, of course, the breakdown will be seen. It will be coming out little by little. Yes, as regards the total amount that is separated, that's around 15 billion naira for sport vehicles, utility vehicles, tires, and the like. For the State House, is bound to spark some controversy. But looking at it, well, it depends on what it is to be used for. For SUVs, for tires, and office complex in 2025 budget. Well, I don't think it may be too much, and if it is too much, of course, a lot of talk will still come up on it. A lot of acts will still come from people, and it will be well criticized. My opinion or take here is that I think Nigerians should be cautious, especially our leaders. We are in a dire situation in Nigeria where things are pretty expensive now, and please, our leaders are not supposed to be reckless when it comes to spending. They shouldn't waste our money on what they can probably avoid. It's very, very important, because I think there are some things we can do without. For example, now, building a complex for the special advisors. It's a welcome development. But in a situation whereby you have advisors and assistants in a particular sector, too many, you don't need those ones. They are part of the leakages and excesses that we are seeing in our expenses in recent years. For example, now, there are three people in charge of information in the State House now: the Bayo Ononuga, the Dare, and then currently the Buala. Three of them almost doing the same thing. And we also have the Minister for Information, who will also have his own accommodation where to stay. I think the government should critically look at all these areas and reduce the number of assistants and the number of special advisors. I don't know how much they had to warrant a situation whereby the government will need to now build a complex for them. Though only God knows whether they've had their quotas before now, or the previous government have been the one that have lacked, shack their responsibility in doing this thing when there is much money in the country, then when the naira was still strong, and then they have failed to do the needful. We don't know the reason why the government of the day is trying to build the complex, probably to reduce costs. Because if these advisors and assistants don't have where to stay, they might probably be staying in hotel, which eventually the state or the nation will be the one bearing the cost. And then at this point in time where there is cash crunch and where things are very, very expensive, the government cannot just, in the name of trying to spend herself out of the inflation, or like Obama said, they will spend themselves out of a recession that time, and then we begin to spend on frivolities, beginning to spend on some things we can avoid. But if it is necessary for the complex to be erected, why not? Let them go for it. Number two, the buying of tires, the buying of SUVs and some other trucks for the purpose of the state house. It's a welcome development. But the question is, are the old ones old? The previous one they were bought, are they old? That is the question. As regards new vehicles and trucks, of course, tires needed to be changed from time to time. But then we also need to raise a question that, are these not the content of the 2024 budget written for the state house, or these are new things entirely? Because in Nigeria, each of the MDAs will always repeat the same thing. They bring forward the same requisition every now and then, just changing the price or increasing it a little by maybe 20% or 30%. This doesn't all go well for us. How can the country continue to buy the same thing every year? No, this just show that the budget is not moving forward. So, as a result of this, I think Nigerians should continue to ask questions. Let them continue to, engage the government, and let us together scrutinize the budget. Whatever we feel is unnecessary, we can ask the assembly to remove it. And what we realize that this is very germane, very important. Of course, there is power with the assembly to impute such things even in the budget in 2025. So I want to also suggest that the government should spend on necessities, not on frivolities, not because we have so many aids and then everybody want to flex their ego. No, government should spend on what will move the economy forward and improve the lifestyle of every Nigerian. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Thank you.